Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Lululemon, and I have done some changes to the chart here to the support zone because this is actually still a very difficult chart to interpret, as I said in the previous videos as well, and there are very many ways in which I can count this movement to the upside. Now this one is simple. It's either a wave 1 or a wave A, and then we get here a wave 2 or a wave B. But this is actually quite difficult because I could count it in like 4 different ways. Either where, okay, I have a wave 1 up in an impulse, I have a wave 2 down here, I have a wave 3 up in another 5-wave move, and then I am looking here to complete the wave 4 and the 5th to complete this next either wave 1 to the upside or a wave C. Then I could say, okay, this is instead a leading or an ending diagonal, so a diagonal of some sorts, and then I would be looking instead to complete here a wave 2. And to be honest, it doesn't matter anymore because with the latest lows we actually did reach our support zone for either way. The lowest point I could draw the support zone, so for a 1-2 setup we actually did reach the first level of support, so we don't need to worry that we may miss an entry because we aren't getting to support. And this does allow the price to retrace to a much lower level before we actually bottom here in a wave 2 if it works out. But we also have the opportunity to track still the idea that we are going lower. Now, so far we have been tracking this ABC pattern that has been developing, and in my opinion still is. Now, I provided you some ideal extensions, and yeah, we didn't necessarily reach all of them. We did only get to the 61.8% extension level here in this ABC in the third wave, and overall in this ABC pattern we reached the nearly reached the 100% extension here in the wave C, the extension of the wave A. Now I will remove this smaller one because in the previous video I provided you this resistance zone in red, and we did get a brief break above it, but then we went back down, so it was all good. We could still continue to track further downside, but now we actually broke much above it, and I have to say this makes me consider that this pattern developed in some sort of a different way, this wave C to the downside, where maybe this wave C is actually complete. So all we need to do now is actually decide, is this third wave complete, or is this wave C only the wave C of an A wave within a larger ABC in this third wave? And for that we need to actually break some levels. Now if I were to be looking here for an ABC pattern within still this third wave, I would be looking to find resistance in the area between $234 up to around $299. If I were to consider that this third wave is complete, I would be only looking at resistance. Well, it's the same resistance zone, but I would be only looking up to $270 at the 61.8% extension. And I guess we won't know too much about which scenario exactly we are in unless we break above this level at $270. And the good thing about this is that we don't actually need to know. We so far only got, in this third wave to the downside, we only got to the 100% extension of the wave 1, and that is normally not expected. We are looking ideally for the 138.2% extension, which is still quite further down. So I am inclined to believe that this third wave is still to continue, and we form here a larger ABC, where I will now readjust this. So I will allow for room up to $299 for higher probabilities for downside. Now, what I would actually need to invalidate this and consider that we have a more substantial bottom would unfortunately be a break above the wave 2 high. And until that happens, I don't think we can look for higher still. Maybe if we form here a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we retrace back lower, then we of course could track a support zone that would allow us to push much higher, and we would be looking for that before we break this wave 2 high. But to be honest, I am still tracking downside, and I still see quite a few movements possible before we actually bottom. Now, in this updated support zone in white, we are looking so it extended down to $99, the 61.8% extension, and we are looking down to even $63.8 level. Now, I wouldn't necessarily expect to get there, at least not in this movement. We do have a very strong level of support here in this area at the 50% retracement level, and yet there's also some levels of support that are quite strong even below that. So it is decently likely that we will find more substantial support in this area. And yes, I am aware and I am paying attention to the fact that even if we find a pretty substantial bottom here, we could go back higher indeed in a substantial B wave, but then still go lower in a C wave. So we will be prepared for that. But so far, if we actually get an entry in this area, I think it could be a decent opportunity, even if we only form a B wave to the upside. But for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.